No, this is there's a JCS video that focuses on like real psychopaths versus fake psychopaths, but this one is just like this one basically just like covers the whole thing.
Okay.
Signs about a confessed kill.
What the fuck? As loud as hell.
Warning signs about a confessed killer, 18-year-old Jerrod Murray, charged with killing 18-year-old Gennaro Sanchez. And tonight, Gennaro's friends say they were suspicious of Murray, even filed a report with campus police.
Wyatt Freeman was best friends with Gennaro Sanchez. He says both had concerns about doormate Jerrod Murray. They often played video games with him until October 3rd, when Wyatt and Murray got into a fight.
While we were in front of the RA, he tried to hit me again, and the RA had to step in and keep us from fighting anymore.
The fight ended up in the hands of campus police.
There was something really weird about Jerrod, and that he had finally snapped, and I didn't want to let it
I
sit
remember
and
this
fester
guy.
anymore. I wanted to deal with it.
Oh, you guys watched this whole thing?
Report, Wyatt
No. I
I
think we watched a different video of it,
concerned
but
that Murray would harm
I
him,
remember this guy.
and concerned that.
So this guy was featured heavily in another JCS video about psychopathy or psychopathy, whatever. But this is like the full story behind it, rather than just like showing him as in a way to make a point about like how this is a real psychopath. I think it was a Nicholas Cruz one, maybe, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Murray may try to blow him up, and made reference to Murray having the anarchist manual in his room.
He talked about building bombs all the time, and
and the insanity
he talked
defense.
about killing people all the time.
Anything to say for yourself today?
No, ma'am.
Any reason why you might have done this young man?
No, ma'am.
No reason.
No, ma'am.
You have nothing to say for yourself.
No, ma'am.
You want to tell the community anything?
No, ma'am.
Did you confess
No,
to
ma'am.
police?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you proud of what you've done?
No, ma'am.
Do you have remorse for what you've done?
No, ma'am.
Jerrod Murray has been called the well-mannered murderer by some, and his case is interesting mostly because of the peculiar interview he gave to police, in which he shows a complete lack of remorse or regard for self-preservation, as he proceeds to confess honestly and matter-of-factly to the senseless murder he committed just hours before.
Just the
In
most
this video,
average.
we're going to review the
Just the average Redditor, I think.
publicly available information about the mental health factors involved in Jerrod Murray's case, and pair that with our own observations.
You say that, except you're gonna listen to him talk, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're right."
Drawn
he
from an
seems so
analysis
normal.
of the interview in question.
It's very confusing.
What? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he just like answers very calmly.
Okay,
you know?
he seems normal if you literally have only been around people who exclusively spend their time in like Reddit debate circles. He is the furthest thing from normal. I'm very excited that like this is not my normal at all. For me, at least.
You met on South Highland 177 in about Sing Road at about 3:12 this morning, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at that time, you made a couple of statements to me when I put you down on the ground, and then after we got up, I read your rights to you, correct?
You read my rights before I got up, sir.
Okay. Before you got up off the ground.
Yes, sir.
But you did make a couple of statements.
Yes, sir, I did
Before
make
I read your
statements,
rights,
sir.
without me asking you anything.
Yes, sir.
You told me you was the guy that I was trying to find.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I read your rights to you.
Yes, sir.
And then rights was you had the right to remain silent.
The Miranda rights, sir.
The first thing
This motherfucker is correcting the sheriff, dude. That's literally debate lord. That is straight Reddit debate lord behavior. Actually, hold on. I need my fucking for this. Actually, sir, it's called the Miranda rights. It's like, dude, he's a sheriff. He's like 70 years old. Been sheriffing for the longest fucking time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I figured out what I meant. He seems normal for murderers. Not like a normal person. You know what I mean? Like he's not like do you know what I mean, Hasan? Like okay, fuck. never mind.
No,
Fuck.
not at all.
He seems too calm. Maybe that's the word I was going for.
Okay, well, we'll keep
Never
going.
mind. I give up. Never mind. Just go.
Well, Valkyrae says murderers are normal.
No. That's not what I mean.
Wow. All right, let's keep going.
you'll
Polite,
notice about
baby.
Jerrod
That's a self-report right there.
Fuck.
It's pretty sus, Valkyrae.
No, it's not what I meant. I'll find the word.
All right, let's keep going.
Besides perhaps the out-of-place suit he reportedly wore every day, is how he appears to be forthright, direct, and honest in his communication, even going so far as correcting the officer on minor details and making a clear and deliberate effort to provide as much information as possible. This likely isn't unusual behavior for Jerrod. I'm willing to bet this is how he approached the majority of his social interactions, and that's why so many people considered him weird or awkward. But we'll soon see that Jerrod is capable of lying without the slightest hint or indication. He's actually a master at telling lies.
Anything you say, Ken, will get you in court.
Yes, sir.
You have the right to talk to an attorney, have him present when you've been questioned.
Yes, sir.
And if you couldn't afford to hire one to be appointed to represent you.
Yes, sir.
And I asked you then if you wanted to talk to me.
Yes, sir.
And you agreed to talk.
At the time, I said no, but didn't I?
No. I read your rights to you.
But whenever you asked me if I wished to talk with you about it,
You said you didn't know, and then you said...
yes,
And then
yeah, that's right.
And then you said, yes, I've already told you, so
Yes.
I might as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And during that talk, do you remember what you told me after I read your Miranda warning to you?
Not word for word, but the effect, yes.
Okay, and what do you remember telling me?
In summation that I'm guilty, yes.
Of what?
Of murder.
Okay, and who did you murder?
Gennaro.
Okay, and how did you murder him?
With a gun. I shot him in the head twice.
Okay.
3 shots were fired, 1 missed.
Notice how nonchalant his tone of voice is as he admits to murder.
This guy even has the JCS like trademark voice every time he pauses, or not voice, the sound. You know what I mean?
The sound effect.
Yeah, he's even doing the. I usually resort to doing it with my mouth whenever I'm doing like other crime videos. I just go. This is called the, being honest with a cop technique. It's very effective. If
Wait,
you're trying to go to jail.
Really?
But
You make the sound effect?
I do the sound effect with my mouth, like. It's pretty good. You can admit it. You can admit that it's you were fooled. You thought for a second you were like, "Wow, this is JCS." I think.
No, Hasan. Yeah, this guy seems This guy is very nonchalant. Eh?
It's better. We're working away from normal, so that's good.
That's not what I meant. Okay, go.
This is the most normal murderer, I think.
Clearly and concisely recalls the details of the crime, and does so in a way that's sort of designed to represent himself as incredibly honest, intelligent, calculated, cold. He's actually sort of building a persona for himself. He really doesn't feel any empathy for his victim or remorse for his actions, and we know he's not lying about committing the crime. So there's really no need for deception at this point in the interview.
And where did you shoot? Where was this? Where did this happen at?
Around 5 miles north of Asher, Oklahoma, on our side road.
Do you know what that side road's called?
No, sir.
Do you know what's on the corner of that side road?
Power station, sir.
Like a substation, a substation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does that road go all the way through?
No, sir. It turns left.
Okay. And did you have knowledge of this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you from that area?
Yes, sir.
And your mom and dad's house is not too far from there?
Maybe half a mile to 3/4 of a mile, sir.
Okay. Can you get to your mom and dad's house by going down that road?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you indicated to me you shot this guy while he was driving his pickup down the road?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. And that's basically what you told me on the side of the road?
In summation, yes, sir.
And in fact, we already had found a pickup, and there was a body next to it, in a ditch?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about now.
Under Sheriff Palmer now gathers basic information like Jerrod's full name, address, relationship with the victim, etc. And keep in mind that part of his job as lead detective on this case is to ensure Jerrod isn't, for some reason, lying about the crime. He still needs to gather the full story from Jerrod and treat this as an interrogation, even though obviously Jerrod is being pretty upfront and honest. Next, we'll get the story from Jerrod in a lot better detail, and perhaps one of the most chilling and tense moments you can imagine in a situation like this, complete with a full 12-second pause.
The pickup that he was in tonight and you was in, was that his pickup or your pickup?
I'm fairly sure it was his, sir.
Okay, and you remember what kind of pickup that was?
Black.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't
you don't know.
know much about cars, so.
But single cab?
Single cab, black, dent on the passenger side.
Okay. And can you go back and tell me how you two got hooked up tonight? Or this is actually, we're talking right now, we're at almost 6 o'clock in the morning, so can you go back and tell me when you guys got together? This would have been...
Maybe around, maybe around 9 o'clock yesterday evening.
So on the 5th?
Yes. Maybe it was closer to 10.
Okay, 9 to 10. And how'd you guys hook up?
I went down to his dorm room and asked if I could be given a ride to Walmart in exchange for $20 gas money.
Okay. And did he agree to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did he in fact take you to Walmart?
Yes, sir. We got in his pickup truck and he drove me to Walmart.
And so you're talking about the Walmart in Ada?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's a couple miles from the school?
2.2, no, 1.7 miles, sir.
1.7 miles?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so he took you to Walmart?
Yes, sir.
And did you both go in?
No, we did not go in, sir.
Okay, and why not?
We pulled into the parking lot, then I pulled the weapon on him and demanded that he take me to Asher, Oklahoma, sir.
Okay, and why did, all of a sudden, did you decide that you needed to go to Asher?
That's when you know you fucked up. Not because of the gun, but he's asking to go to Oklahoma.
Why do you think he's confessing to all of this?
I don't know. I think he's just because he's a psychopath. Like, I don't know why he even did it, to be honest. I don't even understand why he would murder this person. Usually there's like a reason for it, you know what I mean?
You really think he did it for no reason at all? Like, he must have enjoyed it, right?
Probably because he's a sociopath. Yeah. I don't know. Like, you know, he just, I guess he wanted to go to Asher, Oklahoma. Some people just want to go there. 12-second pause here.
Why? Oh, God.
He's just dismantling the fucking sheriff.
Because I was planning to take him out into the country and kill him.
Okay. So, when you got him at the dorm, was your intention never to go to Walmart?
Yes, sir.
You was, in fact, was you at that point already in your mind was going to take him and kill him?
Yes, sir.
Had he done something to you? That...
No, sir.
Notice the voice inflection when asked if Gennaro had done anything wrong.
Had he done something to you? That...
No, sir.
Almost like he's offended by the question on Gennaro's behalf. He wants to make sure his motive isn't misinterpreted. So before we get to his self-ascribed motive, this is a perfect time for us to discuss the known mental health factors that might have played a role here. So when we begin our research, we learn that there are some internet rumors as well as some conflicting expert reports on Murray dating back as far as 2012, which have made a lot of people understandably confused about the specific mental health factors involved in this case. First of all, it has been speculated by amateur analysts that Jerrod's peculiar behavior in this interview was characteristic of Asperger's syndrome. Mostly his communication style and ability to remember specific details most people would forget, like the dent on Gennaro's truck. Now in 2013, Asperger's syndrome was discontinued as a standalone diagnosis, being officially grouped into autism spectrum disorder in the DSM-5. Yet you can still find debates online about whether Jerrod has Asperger's syndrome or autism. While I admit some of his behavior does seem typical of someone with ASD, this was not concluded by any professionals who worked with him, and many of these symptoms can be associated with other mood and
He's just saying Redditors were analyzing another Redditor, and that's how they came up with that
personality disorder
diagnosis.
as well. Further, it's not typical of people with ASD to display violent or criminal behavior, and something like murder is very rare for people with this disorder. So that's one source of confusion. Jerrod was not diagnosed with any form of ASD, and now we'll get a look at what the experts did conclude. So 2 initial reports were made semi-public at the hearings and partially reported on in the news. One from an expert witness psychiatrist hired by the prosecutors, and one from an expert witness psychiatrist for Jerrod's defense. They were largely congruent in their assessments, and both actually concluded that he didn't know right from wrong at the time of committing the crime. Dr. Sean Robertson for the prosecution concluded Murray suffered from severe mental illness, specifically schizoaffective disorder, bipolar type. So schizoaffective disorder is, like schizophrenia, a psychotic disorder. This rare mental illness is related to both schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, or major depressive disorder, and the bipolar type is what Jerrod was diagnosed with. In order to receive a schizoaffective disorder diagnosis, someone must meet all the primary criteria for schizophrenia and have prominent mood disorder symptoms as well. And according to the DSM-5, the primary criteria for schizophrenia includes 2 or more of the following: delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, grossly disorganized or catatonic behavior, and other negative symptoms such as flat expressions, loss of pleasure, lack of motivation or avolition, etc. I think it can be argued that Jerrod meets all of these requirements, except perhaps disorganized speech, and that symptom isn't always persistent. Quote, Mr. Murray detailed extensive grandiose and delusional beliefs, psychologist Sean Robertson for the prosecution wrote in a February report. Although he knew that it was illegal and he haphazardly tried to evade authorities, he conveyed that he came to believe that it was required that he must kill someone. He eventually chose the victim in this case based upon his perception of that victim's role in the world, a world in which Mr. Murray viewed himself as the king. He believed that it was fate, or it would not have occurred at all. So here we see Dr. Robertson has been able to identify deep grandiose narcissistic tendencies in Jerrod's personality, and a clear delusion in the belief that he had to kill someone, and an extreme degree of fatalism which he believed to be directing his actions. In discussing the dark triad of personality traits, which are narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy, it's just an interesting side note here that Jerrod seems to lack one of the 3, being Machiavellianism, since his actions are very poorly planned and disorganized, and he seems to completely lack any desire or ability to manipulate, unlike Machiavellianism, which is centered around manipulative behavior and usually requires some level of planning and deliberate action. It's terrifying to think what Murray could have done to society with that additional trait, and that's why the Dark Triad is such an interesting construct to study. Back to the case, Dr. Teresa Hall for Jerrod's defense made similar conclusions about Murray's mental health. Quote, his explanation of his thinking at the time is quite irrational, she reported. He explains he thought he was receiving stage directions that a life had to be taken, and he would meditate and the thought of death would come to him, making him feel, quote, light and good. He called himself a creature of impulse, the defense expert also noted. She stated that she found Murray to be grandiose, and that he bragged about devising a new energy source that will make him rich. Later reports from a different professional working with Murray would reveal his secret energy source would be devised by, quote, tapping into the space-time continuum. A friend also reported that Murray claimed he could see and talk to ghosts, and his sister said he told her about seeing and talking to ghosts on 2 separate occasions. Now, it may be that ghosts are real, but it also may be that this is evidence of persistent hallucinations, which really adds a layer of context to what might have been going on.
Chat, I did not mute Valkyrae. Please stop.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah.
She's talking to her own chat.
I'm talking to my chat, and my chat thinks I'm muted, and I keep telling him that I don't want to.
No, they're being weird. Also, no, you don't. I mean, unless you want to tell him like privately, like, yo, this fucking Hasan guy sucks, dude. What the fuck?
No, I just.
This is the most normal murderer ever, and he's just like making it seem like he's not normal. Like.
No, that's not what. Listen.
No, it's fine. You totally were doing that, but it's okay.
That's not what I had. Listen, I say things that I don't mean, and that was one of them. Okay, go, quick.
Okay, I'm just
quick.
saying, like, you know, you can.
No. It's just.
I just want to clarify so that people stop freaking out in my chat.
True. I'm just making, sounds that don't need to be unmuted for your channel.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, if you have a profound take, we can. We're willing to hear it. All right.
There is no profound take, I promise.
Hiding it, dude. Yeah, she's hiding the good takes. Probably telling her chat this is like the most normal guy, but whatever. Oh shit, I'm not muted. I was gonna say that on mute.
Okay, now I'm muting you.
Okay, I'm gonna go pee while this runs, okay?
Going on
We'll
in
back.
this situation. Quote, at the time of the events of December 6, 2012, Mr. Murray was suffering from an untreated mental illness, characterized by serious mood and psychotic symptoms, the defense expert wrote. He had delusions of being directed to kill. It was later reported in a local newspaper that Jerrod Murray suffers from antisocial personality disorder and was sent to the Oklahoma Forensic Center for treatment rather than to prison. The problem here is that Jerrod actually doesn't meet the diagnostic requirements for antisocial personality disorder according to the DSM-5, which requires a childhood history of antisocial behavior that isn't present in Murray's case. And I can't find any record of him officially receiving this diagnosis. While he does display practically all of the characteristics associated with ASPD, because of the lack of childhood misconduct, he can't really be diagnosed with ASPD. He claims to have beaten up some bullies in elementary school that were picking on him, but there really needs to be a more documented history of misconduct at an early age to receive a proper ASPD diagnosis. His record is totally clean. His school record and his police record, it's totally clean in terms of, violent misconduct. The reason for this strict diagnostic procedure is that since Jerrod's symptoms don't appear to have been present in his childhood, they may be circumstantial and not genetic, and therefore he may be able to be successfully treated and even released back into society. So it really matters what he's diagnosed with, and it really matters what his actual condition is. People diagnosed with ASPD and who have ASPD are usually considered beyond rehabilitation and unlikely to ever be released back into society. Jerrod was deemed innocent by reason of insanity because he was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, and a symptom of that disorder is psychosis. And it was shown that Jerrod's psychosis may have played a role in his decision to commit murder. Now, this caused a lot of controversy in Oklahoma because many people don't feel that this law is just, or they don't feel that there was justice served in this case. They feel that mental illness is really no excuse for committing murder, and it certainly shouldn't be used by psychopaths, for a lack of a better term, to skirt the law, or to have dangerous individuals released back into society without being faced with the consequences of their actions. Their case was heavily bolstered when, just 1 month after Jerrod was sent to the OFC for treatment, psychologist Peter Rausch reported that he was not suffering from any major mental health issues, and he was not an immediate danger to the public. Therefore, by law, through Dr. Rausch's testimony, Jerrod could be released back.
Wait, what? Nah, he's
Wait, did
fine.
they release him?
I don't know the details of this, but I fucking doubt it. Nice doctor, dude. Hey, yeah, I know this guy just literally just murdered the shit out of someone randomly, but yeah, just let him out. I think you would probably have to at least keep them under, at the very least, a probationary period where you're monitoring them closely. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna be really confused if they released him.
Back to his normal life.
I doubt it. It's Oklahoma.
After just a month at the OFC. To quote Dr. Rausch, during several interviews spanning the past month, Mr. Murray did not exhibit any substantial signs of mental illness. While his rate of speech was at times fast, it never reached the level that it was pressured, Rausch wrote in his 5-page report. Additionally, while he voiced some ideas that could be perceived as odd, they were not delusional. Rausch made those conclusions even though the report noted that Murray, quote, did state that he was a fatalist and that he believes all events are predetermined by God. Quote, he also related that he had planned on obtaining advanced degrees in chemistry and physics, and that he had ideas for how to develop a new energy source via the space-time continuum. Now, I don't have a great deal more information about how or why Dr. Roach came to those conclusions, but needless to say, the judge in Murray's case denied his immediate release and ordered 2 more expert reports on Murray's condition.
And they were like, we're going to need another doctor on this one. Maybe 2. Because I feel like you're out of your fucking mind. I'd throw the doctor in jail after that one. Also, I'm sorry. I need to apologize to you.
For what?
I made fun of you for saying this guy's normal. Turns out professional doctors also are like, no, this guy's normal. Just let him out. He's just... he's just chilling. Just let him out. Let him out of prison. Okay. Doctor was like, free the homie, Jerrod Murray. Free him.
Both concluded that he was still very much a danger to society and shouldn't be released. In fact, one of them said that he was the most dangerous person in the facility at the OFC. Through this controversy, the law was actually amended in Oklahoma to prevent this from happening in the future, and there's a lot of nuance to discuss there, which maybe you guys can pick up on in the comments, but for now we'll just return to the interview and Jerrod's self-ascribed motive for the killing, with the knowledge that he is, in layman's terms, about as crazy as it gets.
Okay, so can you kind of tell me, when you made this decision that you were going to take him and kill him, why?
I made the decision 3 days prior to the incident. Attempted it 2 days prior to the incident, but he was not in his room, and then did so today as he was in his room.
Okay, so you've been planning this for 2 days?
2 weeks, yes.
2 weeks.
But not with a selected individual, no.
Okay. And when did you get to the point where you knew it was going to be him?
That was 3 days prior to the incident.
And why him? Of all the kids in college here, why?
Why?
I believed that he would have had the least impact, sir.
Impact on what?
I believed he didn't have many friends, or many close friends, I should rephrase. And as as he is going missing, his absence would be less notable.
That's so sad.
I was just about to say, that's like a post-mortem dunk. He's like, I murdered it. He murdered him, and now he's like, yeah, this dude was friendless. Like, no one will fucking miss him. Like, what a fucking asshole.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
He literally, like, kicked him while he was down. It's terrible.
Yeah. Kicked him while he was murdered, yeah. After murdering him, he's making fun of him. It's messed up. Also, again, very Redditor behavior to just, like, you know, throw rocks from a glass house. Like, how many friends did this guy fucking have? You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, true.
I don't know the victim, but it doesn't seem like this dude was probably the life of the party anywhere he went. You know what I mean? He literally looks like a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like the nice guy who's like, madam, I would like to send you flowers if you wish, if you will.
He is saying, like, yes, sir, a lot.
Anyway,
he's appearing to be dapper.
He's just like the typical internet libertarian who used to wear a fedora, and then they all became...
I was thinking fedora too.
Yeah, and now they're just like all Trump supporters. Milady, I am simply an anti-theist. Okay, let's keep going.
So, would have been if tomorrow at school nobody would have thought anything of it.
That was the plan, sir, yes.
Okay. And so why did you choose to take him to Asher to kill him? When
my plan was for after my killing him, I was going to head north towards Canada. And Asher was further north than Ada, so...
Okay.
And I know the surrounding terrain, and I knew a good spot. I didn't have that spot planned in particular. If I had planned that far ahead, I would have had a grave dug. But I knew a general area.
Okay.
Again, here we're confronted with the potential horrors had Jerrod more Machiavellian traits. As he goes on to describe the details of the murder, pay attention to how disorganized and impulsive he is, particularly the moment he chooses to kill Gennaro.
So you brought him to that area because you knew that area because you was raised there?
Yes, sir.
And that's the road that you would travel going back and forth to your mom and dad's house?
No, sir. I would travel the road further to the south of it, just the road one south to it. That's the road I would travel going to my mother's house from the school on my bus route, sir.
Okay, but what I'm saying, you were familiar with that road?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And where it would go to?
Yes, sir.
Not much traffic.
I feel like this sheriff is just like, yeah, he admitted everything. So he's just like asking. I don't know. I might be crazy, but I feel like he's asking like just like insignificant questions. You know what I mean? Because he's like, yeah, he already revealed everything, so now we're just shooting this shit. Like, oh yeah.
Well, I think the way he answers like a bunch of these random questions is a good way to compare. You know how he answers like important questions.
There's like he found out the motive. He already knows that this guy did it, so he's just now like, you know, oh, you know the route, you know the boss route. I don't know. I also don't know why there's a WD-40 on the table. I don't understand what's going on there.
What is that?
WD-40. It's like what you spray to, like when something is like creaky. You know what I mean?
Sir, really?
Yeah. Like oil.
Maybe the table's loose.
Anyway, bro works on everything, even criminals. Good one, chat.
On that road at this time?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
the only people that go on that road are those that live on that road, sir.
and you knew that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you pulled the gun on him at Walmart in the parking lot,
Yes, sir.
what did you tell him?
I told him to take me to Asher.
Asher. And did he say anything?
He panicked, wanted to pull out his phone. I yanked the phone out of his hand, and then he panicked some more, kept telling me not to kill him. To make him feel more comfortable, I unloaded the clip, unloaded the bullet from the chamber, handed them over to him, and that eased his nerves a little. Then I pulled a second clip out of my pocket and set it on my lap.
Okay. And you drove him to, so he drove you?
Yes, sir.
And did you have any conversation between Ada and Asher?
The entire time was a conversation, sir.
And was it basically, what, can you tell me what that conversation was?
About from Ada to halfway to Asher, it was just my trying to reaffirm him that I wasn't going to kill him to calm his nerves. And then from that point on, we was talking on our upbringings, our past, our family histories, things.
His accent changes like in between. I don't know if you noticed that. There was a point where he literally like, there's a point where he almost sounded British, and then now he's like, we was. Like, I don't know. I don't know why.
I didn't even notice.
He just like randomly code switches in between statements.
Of more philosophical nature, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. And so did he say anything when you had him to pull off of the main highway onto this dirt road?
No, sir.
Okay.
Before this time, I had pulled out his phone and pulled up his GPS and showed him where I lived to make him feel more comfortable, sir.
Okay. And so when you turn west off of 177, and we've already talked about this, there's a substation there.
We didn't pull onto that road, sir. We pulled onto the road to the south of it, drove past Turkey Hill one road, turned left, went to around where the Bows lived, made another left, past Woodhaven Lake Estates, went straight, then went down that road from the other direction.
So you came in from the west side of where the pickup's at?
West heading east, yes.
Okay. And so you're headed east on what is known as Substation Road, which is the road where the pickup
Yes, sir.
is at now.
Yes, sir.
So you're heading east, and he's driving.
Yes,
and
sir.
You're on the passenger side. He's got some bullets that you gave him?
He had a clip and one round, yes.
Okay. And where was it at?
In his left hand, sir.
Okay. And you had the gun?
Yes, sir.
And what kind of gun was it?
Springfield Armory XD 40 Smith & Wesson 40 caliber.
Okay. And you had the gun and another magazine, but you didn't have the magazine in the gun?
I did not have the magazine in the gun. Every 5 to 10 minutes, he had me put my finger in the hole where the clip goes and show that the round, it wasn't chambered.
Okay. And so you're driving east, and so I guess at some point Did you decide now was the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what happened?
I loaded the gun quickly, chambered the round quickly, shot once, missed, shot a second time, hit.
So the moment he chose to commit the murder is very telling. It speaks to his level of impulsiveness and lack of organization. He shot the driver of a moving vehicle, which he was a passenger of.
I loaded the gun.
That's weird.
Another thing that's like, oh, see? That was good.
Stop!
See? I fucking got you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. You were like, oh my God, the video paused again. That's what you thought. You were like, wow, this is JCS analysis. It's fine.
Not even close.
It's fine. You don't have to admit it. It's fine. It's all good. But what I was gonna say is, before you were taken aback by my pause sound, is that not only is he impulsive, but also when he's retelling the events, I don't know if this is like neurodivergent behavior or not, but he's like very proud of it. He's like, I quickly loaded the gun and I quickly was able to put the ammo inside of the gun and like, and put a round in the chamber or something. It's like,
do you think he's proud?
I think so. I think he's a little proud of it. Like at least
also, Chad
his
thinks that
ability,
he's mirroring the sheriff's voice.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think
too.
that's what he's doing?
Yeah, I think so
that's
too.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I
don't know if he
know
feels
that
anything.
my chatters have infiltrated your chat right now, and they keep saying "cussy." We'll get to that after, okay?
Oh, what
chat?
is that? What does that mean?
This is car pussy. It's a long story. I will tell you all about it in a little bit.
About you?
No.
Wait, what?
No, it's a meme in my community. Okay, well, I'm gonna fucking tell you now because we can't move on. Okay. It's a meme from my community that dares to ask the tough question. In the Disney animated Pixar movie, Cars, if there are female cars and male cars, and then baby cars, that implies the existence of a car pussy, i.e. a cussy.
Okay.
See? Not all politics always. That's it. That's the whole meme.
That's the whole.
That's
the whole meme, huh?
Yeah.
And that's
the
your
exhaust
community
pipe.
meme.
Oh.
The exhaust pipe. Okay.
Oops.
All right.
That's
Well, I'm learning so much about you.
Oh no.
Monsters. A cookie?
Warning sign.
Wait, where were we? A cussy. Where were we? I had my
No.
pointer. I had my pointer accidentally hit like the next video. I don't know how the fuck I did that. 2425. Hold on. I don't know if it's true or not, but
Team had me put my finger in the hole where the clip goes and show that the round it wasn't chambered.
oh yeah, yeah, we were here. Okay, good. Thank you, chatters.
Thanks, chatters. 2504.
And so you're driving east, and so I guess at some point, did you decide now was the time?
Yes, sir. Once, missed, shot a second time, hit, jumped out of the car, went around. He was driving 10-15 miles an hour, so it was rather slow. Ran around the hood of the car, and of course it was slow when he wasn't purposefully driving. Tried to pull him out, couldn't get him out until he already had hit the tree. Pulled him out there, dumped him into the, before I dumped him into the ditch, I heard him gurgling. I'm not sure if that was a physiological or physical process after death, but I thought that he might have still lived through that somehow because he was gurgling, so I shot him again and then shoved him down in the ditch. I then got his phone.
Okay, hang on, let's back up just a second.
Yes, sir.
You fired the first round.
Yes, sir.
And you missed.
Chair's like, you're telling me, you're giving me too much information, boy.
That's so sick.
You need to explain it slowly to me now. Sorry, not to lighten the mood here, but.
Yes, sir.
Do you know where that round hit?
I believe it hit the top of the door, but it might have hit the window.
Did the window bust?
The window did bust, sir, but I don't remember if that was the first or the second round.
Okay. So you fired once and missed.
Yes, sir.
And you fired a second round.
Yes, sir.
And did you hit him then?
Yes, sir.
And you hit him in the head?
Yeah.
In the side of the head, yes, sir.
Okay, so it would have been his right hand?
It was around here, sir.
The right-hand side of his head?
Yes, sir.
Somewhere by the ear?
Yes, sir.
And he was it kind of started veering off the road?
To the left, sir.
Okay. And that's when you got out and ran around?
Yes, sir.
And you opened the door?
Yes, sir.
And you tried to pull him out?
Yes, sir.
And so when you shot, and he was still gurgling?
Yes, sir.
So was he setting up when you shot him that had it again?
No, sir. He was lying down on the ground.
So you pulled him out of the truck?
And just threw him on the ground, and then I heard him gurgling, so I shot him a second time.
And where did you hit him the second time?
I'm not certain, but I believe the head as well.
Okay, the front, back, side?
I believe it was the same side as before.
Same side as before?
Yes, sir.
So you think you hit him twice, or you know you've hit him in fact once in the head?
Yes, sir.
And then the second round is probably in the head area too?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you rode him down the ditch?
Yes, sir.
And what did you do then?
I grabbed his phone from inside the vehicle. I was going to put it on the ground and shoot it as well, but I have a bit of night blindness and didn't see the steepness of the hill where it started to veer down. Mm-hmm. So when I threw it down, it slid down the hill and landed screen side down, so I wasn't able to find its location.
Okay. So his phone is somewhere around his body?
Yes, it should be.
Okay.
It might be underneath his body.
Okay. And did you do something with the body after that?
Yes, sir. I repositioned it and then tried to cover it, admittedly not well, with leaves, dirts, and stick.
Remember earlier when he described the crime and offered just a few details more than he was asked? That was because he was beginning to relish in the interview. He already knew in his mind exactly how he wanted to describe his actions and present himself, and really he saw this interview as the main payoff for his actions. I'll explain that more in a moment.
Yeah.
But early on,
That's why he's getting excited. Like, when he's retelling the events, you can notice that he's getting, like, excited.
he wasn't positive he'd get the chance to really go over the details like he's doing now, so he prematurely offered some of those details in the beginning, and that's why we sort of saw him eager to espouse the details. Now, later we're going to see he's asked again directly for his motive. He says perhaps it was to test his resolve. So if he were asked to explain why he's being so upfront and direct in this interview, he would likely say the same thing. This interview, and being able to describe his crime without showing any emotional response, in his mind further proves his resolve. He's not proud of the murder per se, at least that's what he says, but he appears to believe that he was directed by God or the universe or whatever to do this act, and he feels that he proved himself to whatever it was that he was under the control of. That's some pretty extreme fatalism, and perhaps that's why most philosophies should be taken in doses, and less so perhaps for those suffering from intense mental illness.
Okay, a stick.
Yes, sir. There was a stick on the side of the hill. I just grabbed everything on the side of the hill and pushed it on top of him.
Okay. Now, when you say a stick, and I was at the scene, I went down there, and you know that.
Yes, sir.
We actually brought you back down there and had you sat in the car down there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a stick, it's about 3 foot long, about inch and a half and down.
Yes,
it's
sir.
right across the body, but there's a whole bunch of blood on it. Is there any particular reason that stick?
It had blood on it?
Mm-hmm.
It could be because I rolled his body on top of it, because if it was on the side of the hill, his body would have crossed over it. I couldn't think of any reason in particular, though.
Okay, so you didn't hit him with a stick or do anything with him with a stick?
No, sir.
Okay, so that stick just ended up on top of him?
Yes, sir.
So it's possible he could have rolled him over on it, and then when you was covering him up, that stick just ended up on top of the body?
It ended up on top of him because of the way I covered him up, yeah.
And so, after you got the body covered up, what did you do then?
I headed back to the truck and tried to get it unstuck.
So you put it in reverse and tried to...
And then drive and tried to, and it wasn't going. So, after that, I looked...
So when you say it wasn't going, it was because it was stuck?
I believe one of the wheels was off the ground and it wasn't making traction.
Okay. And so you could get the truck out, so what did you do then?
I looked to the left, and from the headlights I saw that I could still see his own shirt, so I covered him up better. And as I was finishing that, I saw the headlights from a car pulling over the hill. So I went down and...
Which way was it coming from?
It was heading west from the east side, so from the highway.
Huh.
And he was slowing down already, so I just came out as quickly as I could from behind the truck and flagged him down by waving my hands. And he asked what was going on. I told him that I had dozed off and veered off the road and couldn't get my truck unstuck. Then he was, I don't think he knew exactly what happened, but I think he knew I did something. Maybe stealing, I don't know. Because like you said, no one travels down that road.
Did you know him?
No, sir, I did not know him. But since no one travels down that road, and he most likely lived in that area, he knew that I didn't.
Okay.
So, most likely he was suspicious just from that fact alone. Because I had no business being on that road. But he agreed to give me a ride to Asher, nonetheless. More specifically, he didn't agree to that until his phone didn't work. We pulled up to about the highway, then he dialed a number for me. I gave him a fake number, that way it wouldn't answer, and if it did answer, then I could just make something up. Whenever it didn't answer, it was a phone that was out of service. He agreed to take me into Asher so I could get my cellular phone, I don't own a cellular phone, to call someone that I knew that could get me out.
Okay. And what did he take you to in Asher?
My grandparents' house.
Okay. And what is your grandparents' name?
Ethel, I don't know if it's Lone Lodge or Roger Canal.
Okay. And so he took you, and what do you know their address in Asher?
306 East Salter Street.
Okay. And that's where he took you to?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you got out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what did you do then?
I went into the house. I had a Coca-Cola. I called my roommate from college and told him that I had an accident and wondered if he could either get me out of the ditch or knew anyone that could get me out of the ditch.
And what's your roommate's name?
Shane Schroth.
Okay.
Then,
does he have a cell phone?
Yes, sir.
And do you know that number?
Not off the top of my head, sir, but if I had a phone, I could tell you.
I think one immediate red flag was that he was drinking a cherry Coke. Okay. I see that cherry Coke. I'm like, nope, that guy, you're going to jail, dude.
Shut up. Okay, I do agree. I think he is proud.
You agree,
I can't
cherry
tell
Coke
if he feels
for terrible people? Yeah, me too.
Yes, I would never drink a cherry Coke. So you must be right.
Okay, good.
You must be right.
What were you gonna say?
There must be. I agree. I do think that he is quite proud, but I'm having a hard time deciphering whether he actually feels anything or if this is like an accomplishment for him. Like, I'm having such a hard time figuring this guy out.
No, I think he's like straight flexing
Not normal.
right now. He's flexing.
Oh, flexing.
Wow, you're
Yeah, but
you're
for
backing
what
down from the
reason?
not normal. You're okay.
Oh, okay.
Is that vanilla Coke, chat? I mean, both are bad for the record. I
don't drink soda.
Oh my God, there's
All soda's
yeah,
bad.
me either. I hate soda.
Yeah, terrible. Just it doesn't burn your mouth.
Soda?
Yeah, I don't drink soda because it burns.
What are you, a baby?
Sensitive.
What the fuck? Like, I feel like that's something a baby would say. Like, I know, I'm serious. I feel like when I was younger, it's like, when I was like an actual baby, I was like, oh no, I can't drink soda. Soda is spicy?
It burns, yeah. The sizzling, it just, yeah, I don't like it.
Okay.
I'm sensitive.
No, that's normal, totally.
I'm sure that's normal.
Yeah, no, totally.
Right?
Everyone agrees with you. Everyone agrees with you. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. That's weirder than the fucking cherry Coke take, okay?
No, it's not!
Oh my God. Soda is too spicy. Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
Spicy.
It's like a one...
I know.
Alright, I can tell you now. 1-405-694-0359.
694.
0359.
Leaked.
And what's his name again?
Shane Schroth.
And he goes to school there?
Yes, he also graduated from Asher with the class.
With now, when you talked before, you didn't actually graduate from Asher?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you would have graduated with him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's his last name?
Schroth, Schroth.
Okay, so he knew you from Asher.
Yes.
Okay.
And we were roommates also in college because we were fairly good friends.
Okay, so you guys in the same dorm, same room?
Yes.
Okay. And so you told him you were stuck?
Yes, I told him that I had ran my car off the ditch and asked if he knew anyone that could get me out.
Okay. Do you own a car?
No, sir.
Did he not know this?
He didn't ask, sir.
Here we see perhaps the beginning of Jerrod's first lie that we're aware of. It's not known to the public how this conversation with the roommate went exactly, but it's later reported that he mentioned that he had completed Objective A. So while he was talking to his roommate, he said, "I've completed Objective A," and he didn't tell that to the officers in this interview, or to the undersheriff. This one statement was basically a major concern by the public and by the police because obviously they assumed he must have had Objective B, C, D planned, so they were wondering if he was actually planning to kill a lot more people. So that's basically the first lie that he tells, kind of a small lie, but later, shortly in this video, we see that he tells a pretty convincing lie about his interaction with the roommate's parents. I mentioned earlier that Jerrod is a master at telling lies, and I'll stop the video again right after his biggest lie. But pay attention for any signs over the next several minutes.
Why would he
that he's
lie?
lying.
What's the point?
Okay. And what did he
I don't
tell
know.
you?
He said
I
he
don't
would
think
try
he's
to call his,
intentionally trying to lie.
I mean, he was like, according to other testimony that we found out after the fact. I mean, he was definitely obfuscating the truth.
Well, he must. Yeah, he's
was-
just crazy. Like maybe he
I
just
think,
didn't
like-
remember correctly.
You know what it could be? Honestly, it could be like something that we would never even consider or think is important, but it's important to him. You know what I mean? Because he wants to portray himself a certain way, and this is his story, and he wants his story to be portrayed in exactly the way he wants it to be portrayed. So that's the reason why he's like, hiding certain parts of it. Like it could be something not even relevant to like absolving him, because he's clearly not interested in getting absolved here. He doesn't care about
Yeah, he doesn't care
innocence
at
or
all.
anything like that. He's just like reporting on everything. So I don't know.
What? It's so weird.
All right, let's keep going.
mother to see if his father could do it for me, and they were asleep, so there was no answer. So at that point, I decided I should go off on my own.
Okay.
And I got that can of WD-40 and was going.
Where'd you get this can of WD-40 at?
I stole it from his parents.
Okay. Let's back up just a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you said you was at your grandparents'.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did you get to his parents' house?
He lives on the other side of Asher. I walked.
Okay, when you say the other side of Asher, help me out. East of Asher, west Asher, north, or?
South Asher.
Okay, south of the quick stops?
No, it's in the town, just on the south side.
Okay, you don't know their address?
No, sir.
Okay. So you walked after, I'm just trying to understand this,
Yes,
okay? So you called him from your grandparents' house?
Yes, sir.
And then he tried to call his parents?
Yes, sir.
And no answer?
No answer, sir.
So you got your grandparents' house?
Yes, sir.
And you walked to his mom and dad's house?
Yes, sir.
About how far is that from your grandparents' house?
Not far at all. It's maybe 8 to 9 blocks. I don't know mileage there.
Okay, and you walked to their house?
Yes, sir.
And did you knock on the door, or?
I just got the can of WD-40.
And where was it at?
Outside, sir.
On the porch, or
They live in a trailer house, sir. It was to the right of their entryway.
just sitting on the ground, or?
Sitting on top of a milk crate.
So maybe you've got a good eye for these things, and you notice that the entire segment was actually full of really quite unbelievable lies. It's easier when you're looking for it, but when you're in a conversation with somebody, and despite the circumstances, Jerrod is in fact being quite conversational, it's a lot harder to unravel a rapidly spun web of lies like this. And even if you spot one or two, you're still usually left without the bigger picture. In this case, the bigger picture being the one thing that Jerrod is trying to hide. The fact that he actually did meet up with Shane's dad, who gave Jerrod the can of WD-40, and then gave Jerrod a ride back toward the crime scene, so he could use the WD-40 to remove his fingerprints from the vehicle, which is just a stroke of pure genius considering the hot, steaming pile of evidence he's already left behind, not to mention the dude who he had drop him off at his grandparents'. And now the next day, he's going to be the only person missing when they go to look for Gennaro. I mean, was he really expecting anyone to believe his roommate didn't ask where he got his new car in the middle of the night? It's just such an odd idea to return to the crime scene to remove his fingerprints after what had transpired. And it's even more odd that he's telling all these lies to protect his friend's dad. This is one piece of evidence that suggests he might not be very sociopathic at all. It sort of comes back to that idea of him testing his resolve to commit murder. So, not so much that he enjoys it or that he doesn't feel any emotions at all, more so just that he decided he wanted to do it, or that it was fate that he was going to do it, or that something told him to do it, depending on which psychiatrist you want to listen to. Regardless, it really doesn't seem like he suffers from antisocial personality disorder. Now, it would be easy to make fun of all this behavior and his silly lies as, rather unintelligent behavior, especially given the fact that Jerrod seems to think he's quite intelligent. But really, it's just a sign of how scattered his brain was, and of the severe mental...
Okay, this is literally the reason why I'm saying, this is actual Reddit debate lord energy, because it's the most common sign of a Reddit debate lord is, overestimating their own intelligence. Okay, Dunning-Kruger, thinking that you're brilliant and then doing dumbass shit oh yeah, and that's why I had the WD-40 so I could remove my fingerprints while you're literally committing crimes out in the open, shooting someone in a moving vehicle, you know what I mean? Not doing a good job hiding, having multiple witnesses in the aftermath of the event. It's just absolutely terrible. So that's why I was right. He is a total Reddit debate lord.
Illness that he was suffering from.
Oh, yes, shit. I gotta run an ad as well. Sorry. I'll keep playing the video though. Hold on 1 second.
You have to run those every hour?
Yeah, I forgot to run one in the last hour or two, so. Top of the hour, folks. I'm gonna run a 6-second ad break right here.
It's actually just sad that he wasn't able to get treatment before he ruined his own life.
I muted myself, so.
And why did you get the WD-40?
WD-40 is a solvent. It would help.
I know it's a terrible segue. I don't want to segue in front of real people, in front of friends.
Sir. Okay, so you're going to take this kind of WD-40 and
if you no longer
want
to see the ads, you already know. You can subscribe. Which Prime?
Yes, sir.
To try to get rid of your fingerprints.
Yes, sir.
Okay. $5 subscription or an ad block or a VPN. Here's the outbreak now.
Did you do that?
No, sir. When I was on my way back, as opposed to going down the road directly to it, I cut through a forest area. There by an abandoned trailer house. And as I was entering the general area of the crime scene, I heard, I believe it was an elderly gentleman cough. I'm not sure who, I'm not sure what. I just left. Because, around that area, the man who gave me a ride into town was an elderly gentleman. I concluded he might have went back and the headlights and the brake lights were still on. I thought he might have went to turn them off so my battery wouldn't die. And then he saw at least the blood, probably the body, though the body wasn't well hidden at all.
Okay.
So that's the conclusion I reached anyways.
You was in the woods?
Yes, sir.
And so you don't really know who it was?
I just heard an elderly gentleman cough.
Could you see the pickup?
No, sir.
Okay. So you couldn't see the pickup?
No, sir.
And so were you on the south side of the road in the woods?
Yes, sir.
And so... But you never could see the pickup.
Is Reddit a bad place or something?
No, sir.
Okay. So what did you do then?
I spend too much time on it. I just like making fun of it.
Oh. I was just telling chat, I don't really use Reddit that much, and they're like, stay away from Reddit. Stay away from Reddit.
My queen, stay away from Reddit. No, no, I just it's really fucking annoying. I use it all day, every day. I just like clowning on it, and therefore myself. It's good advice, though. You probably stay away from Reddit. It's stay away from Reddit is the equivalent of touch grass, I think. Good advice all around. Good for mental health.
I see. Oh, yeah, I saw your Insta story today. You went and literally touched grass.
I did do that. That's true. Not to flex. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Okay, go.
Headed back east instead of south, took a different route to get out of the wooded area. Ran into a barbed wire fence, jumped the barbed wire fence. headed south along another barbed wire fence I found next to the highway. Well, you couldn't see the highway, but you could easily hear it, and I could see the substation from there pretty clearly. Headed south along that, came across another barbed wire fence, jumped it, and then headed to where I started out at that abandoned trailer house there. Then walked away, headed north.
Okay, the abandoned trailer house, is it south of the substation?
Yes, it's south of the substation.
And about how far?
Maybe 100 yards.
And you know what side of the road it's on?
West side.
West side. Okay.
It's up the ways a little. It's in you know how trailer houses out in the country, they'll have driveways that lead to them. So I'm not sure if you can see it from the highway or not, but, and the driveway's run down. I happen to know no one lives there, so I figured that was the perfect vantage point to get to the crime scene again.
Okay. So, did you get back on the highway?
Yes, sir.
And which way did you go?
North, sir.
And what were your intentions? You were walking north.
Canada, sir.
You was going to Canada?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had hoped that by determining that I was heading south, you went to Asher, you would have known my grandparents' house, and I was hoping that my name would probably show up somewhere in the course of this little thing. I didn't expect it to be found so quickly.
Why didn't you think it would be found so quick?
I didn't think someone would drive down that road. In my original plan,
Okay.
I gave myself maybe 6 to 8 hours to get out of the area. But since it was found so quickly, at least I believed so at the time, I didn't want to revise the plan because I had headed south originally going into town.
Okay.
And I was hoping you'll think that I was heading towards Mexico as it's much closer and probably easier to get past the border.
Okay, and so you was walking north on 177?
Yes, sir.
And what side of the road was you on?
I was on the right side of the road, sir.
Okay, so if you're going...
East side.
East side. And you was walking?
Yes, sir.
And what happened then?
I had tried hitchhiking most of the way because the only way this was going to work, factoring in my belief that y'all found the crime scene, is if someone were to give me a ride there and then. However, that didn't happen. Most of the people were truckers, so they just kept driving. They had a place to go. And then whenever your patrol car was pulling up behind me, I didn't know it was a patrol car. I stuck my thumb out and you was there for the rest.
Now, I still have a lot more to say about this case, but the video is getting a bit long at this point, so I'll just let...
Yeah, no shit. We're at 43 minutes, dude. This guy could have condensed this into, like, literally a tight 25, okay?
Yeah, this is kind of unnecessarily long.
Isn't it like, look, you're a YouTuber, you know this better than I do. Isn't it just like, whatever?
He added
after
a bunch
10
of,
minutes?
like, convos that I felt were so irrelevant to just know. Like, we don't need to know, you know, what road he went down. What turn did he take? It's a little too much.
It's getting so long that I can't even fucking pause and like make it longer. You know what I mean? And that's basically what I do. Like this is.
We're almost done.
Ruining it for me.
Let some more of the interview play and then cut it off. We will revisit this case in the future to answer any questions you might have in the comments, and I'll leave a link to the full interview in the description below, so go ahead and check that out. As always, if you like this kind of content, we really appreciate if you'll give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out.
And that's when I...
JCS would never pause the video to be like, you should... That's for techniques only, okay? The sound should only be followed by a technique explanation and never just a shameless plug or self-promo.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm going to say.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
True.
That's when me and you first came in contact, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you advised them to get on the ground, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's when I had you put your hands behind your back.
Yes, sir.
And then when I approached you, I asked you, for my safety and your safety, did you have a gun?
Yes, sir.
And you said no.
Yes, sir.
And you remember what else you said?
I might have mentioned the ammunition in my left pocket, sir.
Yes, sir. And then what else?
Like, what? Why is this relevant?
I'm the one you're looking for.
It's not.
At that point, I told you to be quiet. And till I got you, read your rights to you. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. But if you're saying it's correct.
Well, no, do you remember that conversation that...
I'm going to be 100% honest here. The sheriff would not be able to solve this if this dude wasn't so, like, loosey goosey. I feel like he's
Forward.
just. This dude is like telling him everything, and he's still. I feel like he's still like, yeah. What's up? What kind of ice cream did you have earlier in the day? Was it a hot summer day or a cold one? Like, all right, dude.
Yeah, I don't even think he's written anything down.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. It's just like the kid is
just
already. He's going to jail, you know.
Talking. Yeah.
Yeah, he could have. He could have beat the case if this dude kept going.
When you said,
No, sir.
I said, well, hang on just a second.
Yeah, you did say that. Yes, sir.
So I
Yes,
could
sir.
read your rights to you.
Yes, sir.
And I read your rights to you at that point.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I wasn't aware you was telling me to be quiet. I thought you was just saying I need to read your rights.
But I told you, you do remember me saying be quiet for a second?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Something to that effect, yes.
Okay. Okay, Jared, where's, and we've talked about this, and you told me the gun, you got the gun in the pickup.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And me, you've talked, and I've told you that, you know, you've already told us about the homicide.
Yes, sir.
And you told us about shooting them.
Yes, sir.
The gun's not in the truck.
It was in the truck, sir.
And so I need to know where that gun's at.
When I left the scene, it was in the truck, sir.
It was still in the truck.
It was still in the truck, sir.
Where was it at in the truck?
It was, I believe it was on the center console, but it's possible it could have been between the driver's seat and the seat.
You know what he's doing? The sheriff is like, my grandchildren never talked to me for this long. You kind of remind me of them, so I'm just gonna talk to you instead.
Oh my gosh.
That's what he's doing. Like, I haven't.
He's
had
enjoying his time in there.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you keep calling me sir, unlike my grandchildren who keep saying, granddad, you're crazy. Granddad, you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump, even though he's saving America. You call me sir, like a good boy. So I'm gonna keep talking to you. That's what's going on here. All right.
Center console.
Shut up.
Because the center console is pushed up. It's not down.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, you kept saying it was on the center console. To be on the center console would have to be in the down position, correct?
Yes, sir.
But the center console is up. So was it up or down when you was there?
I think it was down, sir.
Okay. So, but your intentions, can I ask you why you'd leave the gun there if you just killed somebody and you was trying to get to Canada?
Because that man pulled up too quickly, sir.
Okay. And was that your gun?
No, sir.
And where did you get that gun from?
I stole it 2 weeks ago from a man named Daniel Davis, 217 North Division Street.
Now where's Division Street?
It's the, if you're going down Old 18 and entering Asher.
What town is it in?
Asher, Oklahoma.
And his name's Daniel Davis?
Yes.
And how did you steal it from his house?
I went into his house. His family and my family are on good terms. I just
For
walked
the
in the
record,
door
Chad, I think my
and,
joke was
went back
very
to his
good.
mother's room and told
Okay?
her that I had a
For the
video game
record,
to return.
I think my
Daniel.
joke was
Then I went
very
into
good.
Daniel's room, put a video
I'm
game that I
muted.
brought with me as a way to get into the door, and
It
got
was
the gun.
very good.
Okay. And so was it in a box or was
Valkyrae
it?
was
Yes,
trying
sir.
to
It
get
was
back
in
at me
a
because
case.
Okay.
because
And
I made
where's the
fun of her
case
for
at?
saying this
It's
killer
still at
was
his house,
normal.
sir.
Okay,
So you took the
that's
gun
all
out of
she's
the case.
doing.
I took the gun in 2 clips, sir.
Okay.
All the clips.
And where's there? So there's just 2?
Yes, sir.
And where's there ammunition in them?
Yes, sir. There was 12 rounds in each clip. Since I fired 3 rounds from that one clip, that means there's 9 rounds in it, should be. And the other clip had 11 rounds in it because one was chambered, and the other round was, I unchambered it and handed it to him.
Okay. Now when I brought you in here and we was uncuffing you, I was just checking the pockets of your jacket to make sure you didn't have any weapons in your pockets, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I pulled out this can of WD-40 out of your right coat pocket.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it
And
was in his
your left coat
pocket.
pocket, there is a purple Crown Myrtle bag.
Yes, sir.
And I took that out of your pocket.
Yes, sir.
And can you tell me what's in here?
Smith & Wesson 40 caliber round, sir.
And was them part of the rounds that you stole the guns?
No, sir. I bought those 2 or 3 days later off of a friend of mine, sir.
It's just that many rounds?
That plus what was in the clip, sir. So there was 12 and 12/24 plus whatever in there.
Okay, no, but you said that there was already, the magazines already had bullets in them.
No, sir. I loaded them with the ammunition I bought, sir.
Okay, so when you stowed the gun in the magazines, there was no bullets with it?
No bullets were in it, sir.
Okay, so what was in the 2 magazines?
Nothing, sir.
No.
Oh, as for the ammunition, yes, sir.
And what's in here? You bought off of a friend?
Yes, sir.
And you know his name?
Not off the top of my head, sir.
Does he go to college?
No, sir. I call him a friend, but he's just a guy.
Okay. And where's he from?
Ada, sir.
Okay. Do you know how to get a hold of him, or?
No, sir.
Okay.
It's a guy I know through a guy. I just got the word out. I was looking for some
This
ammunition.
is the longest video I've seen in my life.
I mean, we
A
can
friend of
skip
mine.
it. We already know he did it. It's not like I hate it when the fucking sheriff is not just like, wait, what was the term we used in the chat? Beaking the shit out of the suspect and like, you know, catching him, you know what I mean, and in his lies. This one is like the exact opposite, where the suspect's just like, dude, I did it. Just fucking, I did all of it. And I will sit here and tell you every minute detail that is completely insignificant to the story, because you're just, it seems like they're both enjoying each other's company. Like they're just, they're just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Two buds.
They're chilling. Having a good time.
We can skip. We can skip. See what the fuck
I don't know. I
happens.
feel like we're so close yet so far.
We're not. There's like 20 more minutes still, so, or 19 more minutes. All right, I'll skip ahead a little bit to like another
Maybe like
pause.
a chunk.
Oh, he gets out of the room. Let's see where he's going.
Oh, he gets up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Jared, I'm gonna ask you just to sit here for just a second, and I'll be right back, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you think he's thinking anything at all during this? Like while the sheriff's
Like,
talking?
yeah. Like, I killed the fuck out of that dude. It's so sick. That's what he's thinking.
So sick.
I just, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on in his head after all this. I feel like he's just like into what he did. He did it for recognition more than anything else. I feel like it's like very narcissistic.
Got a couple other things.
Oh my God. The audio got so much worse. The audio gets progressively worse, dude. What the fuck? Yo, throw some WD-40 on that shit.
I really need to calm down, all right?
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's terrible.
I'm really being honest with you. I really do. You told me stuff that I have no qualms about what you tell me, except for a couple of things. I know for a fact you didn't get the WD-40 from the front yard.
You're right. I planned on keeping him out of this, but I did go into his house. He did give it to me, and yeah.
And when you say who, and when you say him, who are you?
The parent of the friend that I called.
Didn't they already talk about
You might
this?
recall my saying Jared is a master at telling lies. Now, I didn't exactly say
He
he's
lied.
a master at sticking to them. In this case, however, it's a little strange. Obviously, he comes out right away, and it seems like he immediately crumbles under.
If he's a psychopath, why would he want to keep like a friend out of it though? Like a sociopath should not show, or a psychopath or a sociopath should not show any care or consideration for someone who he considers to be a friend.
Maybe he wants all the credit. He doesn't want
Yeah.
anyone to think that anyone else was involved at all, maybe. I don't know.
I find it really strange that he like would lie about something. Yeah, credit is probably right. You're right. He wants to take all of it.
Pressure.
Yeah.
But in reality, this actually it says to me that he's quite confident in his lies. And I'll explain that now. He thinks that he's so good at telling lies that there's no way they could have detected that lie or known that he was being dishonest about the can of WD-40 unless they had already went and talked to the parent of the friend and ascertained that information another way. So as soon as they come to him with the accusation that he's lying about the can of WD-40, he immediately knows, well, obviously the parent has given himself up, so he immediately confesses. Really, it doesn't say anything about his inability to tell lies. It just actually says more about his awkward honesty, which is paired with the ability to be deceptive at any moment that he pleases. So anyways, I promise that's the last thing I'm going to say about this one. Again, if you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button and subscribe. And
Oh my God, bro. I mean, we're just like eating this dude's video, but like also at the same time, come on.
My mid to early teenage years.
When's the last time you smoked marijuana?
Oh shit.
Maybe 6 years ago, maybe 5.
You ever done any other type of drugs?
No, sir.
The devil's lettuce.
You're not on any medication?
Not the devil's
sir.
lettuce.
Just an albuterol inhaler for asthma, sir.
You do have asthma.
Yes, sir.
So, when you, let's go back to 3 weeks ago when you
Okay, no shot. We're not going back to 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I don't want to go back there ever again. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in this video.
Yeah, this was not good. Look, they can't all be winners, all right? They can't all be...
Yeah, no. But these make the good ones look even better, so it's okay.
It's true.
Some questions.
Have you seen all the JCS videos already?
Yeah, that's pretty much the only channel where I've seen all of them.
Yeah,
I
there's
binged
like
them.
there's really good copycats of JCS. This was not one of them. I just you know, I had seen this case on JCS, so I thought maybe it'll be interesting because he's like
I go into more detail.
He has no remorse. Like when he's talking about the murders and whatnot, it was actually
care at
really
all.
interesting seeing it on. What's up?
He doesn't care at all.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be unique and interesting because it's like this dude is like a fucking cold-blooded murderer and stuff like that, and it's not. That chapter's good. Matt Orchard is good for you. I'm saying if you wanna look at some other stuff. Beside the Dying Fire is another good one. There's another one who's like, which one was it? Which one do we watch all the time, chat? We watch like, This Is Monsters, which is like coming up after this one, but like I'm fucking tired, to be honest.
Okay.
There's like...
Yeah, I know the kind of resident sleeper video.
Yeah. Jay Aubrey? No, Jay Aubrey's not murder stuff. He just does like... The Steven one is the best.
Steven?
Can you do this, Steven? I forget which channel was that. Was that JCS? It's like one of the worst interrogations of all time. Oh,
Why?
someone in the chat said Ray watched it already.
I did.
Apparently.
I'm really bad with names, so when I hear names, I don't know. I probably have if it's on JCS.
Where he goes like horizontal, you know what I mean? He's just like the two detectives are just like grilling him, and then the tubby one literally just like pulls his chair back all the way, and he almost falls. He's just like leaning back. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No, I feel like I'm gaslighting myself into thinking that I do remember, but I don't remember.
Well, listen, I trust your random chatters in my chat right now more than you, as far as like remembering things that you watch.
Me too. They know what I've seen. Listen, I've been knocked unconscious a lot growing up. Okay, all right.
You've been what?
My
growing
memory
up?
is shot, knocked unconscious, and a lot of weed back then. So you know, it's
Wait, why?
just a lot of accidents.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have really bad memory. I have such a hard time remembering like names and stuff, titles. So, you know, it is what it is.
This is the...
But you know, so chat, you know, if they say I've watched it, I probably have watched it.
Yeah, they're like, remember when they're like saying like, have you had sex? Do you like wearing women's underwear? Why do you like wearing?
Oh yeah, that I remember.
You
that guy.
do, don't you, Steven? You like wearing women's underwear? That one.
That's the guy that like put her body in different trash cans.
Yeah, it's the
Like, she was the
JCS
girl
one.
next
Stephen
door.
McDaniel.
Yeah.
The bizarre case of Stephen McDaniel.
I remember.
Yeah.
It was the underwear over the head one. That made me remember.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for watching a few with me.
Yeah, no, this was fun. I
appreciate it.
wish the second one was more fire. We can do this again sometime.
I'm down to do this again, but maybe more prepared. I want to watch ones that you haven't seen.
How about you pick the next one? Okay.
Well, because you've seen them all. Like, how am I supposed to know
I'll
what
tell
ones you haven't
You just
seen?
like send it to me. You're like, this is fire, or this is good.
Okay. So I'll send them to you and ask, have you seen this? And then you'll reply yes.
Yeah.
And I'll spend another 30 minutes looking for another one.
I'm just
Hasan, have you
saying.
seen this?
I'm just
Yes.
saying. You curate next time, okay?
Okay. Okay. I'll do it. All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, this was
Hey,
fun
bye,
though.
Hasan.
Bye.
Bye, chat.
All right, folks. That was Valkyrae. Oh, let me just turn this part off too. The window capture. Boom. Gone.